Balls.
I've got big balls. I've got big balls. They're such big balls, and they're fancy big balls. And he's got big.
That's right. In this one, we're gonna talk about a game that's not out quite yet. It's still in process, but pretty soon it will be releasing. So I just wanted to bring people's attention to it because this demo is ridiculously good. So BallXPit or BallXPit, whichever one you want to do, it is a survivors roguelike RPG that is basically Breakout on crack. This game follows your typical roguelite formula by having your character start a level with basically the lowest stats that they can give, and then over time you gain items and weapons and you boost their stats to where they just become a ridiculous force of nature. And that's where the roguelite elements come in, to where each time you're not guaranteed the same thing and enemy placement can be different and things like that, which keeps these types of games interesting and it makes you want to play it for a long time, trying to get that one good run. But since this game is designed like just the craziest game of Breakout you could ever possibly imagine, it's such a refreshing new look at roguelikes and survivors games in general. It's a really fun mixture that I never thought that I would enjoy, because I was never a huge Breakout fan to begin with, but the way that this game is set up, it's super good. The art style is eye-catching. The way that it gives you your power-ups and you're basically having to catch them in real time and shoot the balls out is very fun. And it even offers a couple of extra things that you've come to expect, but also they give their own little spin on some mechanics that have already been done before. A good example would be whenever your character levels up, it'll randomly give you some of your power-ups that you can either add or you can upgrade to, right now in the demo, up to level 3. And once you max out your weapon, eventually you'll be able to pick up an upgrade material. Like in Vampire Survivors, it was chests. In this one, it's a fission core or some type of galaxy reactor, something like that. But it'll randomly upgrade a weapon, so just like the treasure chest. But whenever it comes to evolution, you also need like 2 special balls that can play on each other and become a new item. And your special balls are actually pretty interesting. Like, you get one could be a fireball, one becomes a spiked mace which causes bleed damage, you got another one that's an ice ball that can freeze enemies, and so on, in those typical veins of stuff. And whenever they do some of the combinations, it's actually pretty fun to see. Like, you can have a laser beam that can either shoot horizontal or vertical, but whenever you match it with maybe the ice weapon, well, now instead of shooting in a straight line either up and down or left to right, now it shoots in diagonals, and it has the freeze added to it, so now you can stop enemies in their tracks. So some of these weapon groupings and evolutions are great, but on top of evolution, now you can do fusions, to where you can take 2 weapons, combine them together, and then they get the attributes of each other, but it's not a full-blown evolution. So you don't have to have it completely leveled out. And it just adds another spin on some of the weapon types and the way you play the game. And since this is Breakout, it's all about bouncing the balls in the correct order to try and eliminate as many enemies, or get the balls to hit at least as many enemies as you can. Eventually, you can make it to where if you can sneak all of your balls behind the final line of enemies, they could just sit back there and constantly keep hitting the new ones that pop up, and they could almost never reach you. Now, this can backfire horribly because everything in the front never gets touched, so you could just get run over. Or eventually, if your firepower is high enough, or if you have enough evolved weapons, it can just melt everything from behind. And there are even some special power-ups that give you upgrades for having your balls and ammunition come from behind and eventually wipe the enemies down to the front. And the enemies are always randomized, and in terms of how their, I would say, placement is put on the field. And it's pretty good because you're never guaranteed having to go through the same slots over and over again. So that's where this one kind of plays up of, it'll give you different sets of enemy types, even though it's right now in the demo, there's only like, you know, this undead forest, so it's all skeletons. But it places them in different ways, so you have to figure out where to shoot so that you get the most bounces and it can hit the most enemies before any of your ammo returns back to you. And adjusting the speed of the game is actually really convenient. You can play it on normal mode, which everything just runs at you know, the regular pace of the game. But this game to me really shines whenever you crank the speed all the way up, and so everything's just going so fast. You have to think quicker about where to shoot and what enemies to kill first and before you get to the boss. So yeah, I think they have a really good balance here, and I'm actually very excited for when the game comes out. And then on top of that, you also get when it goes into boss transitions, the level goes from a very linear path to where it only allows certain amounts of enemies, and then it expands a little bit, and now there's more enemies on the screen. Your balls have to travel further different distances, and you have, you know, less places to where it can bounce from, at least immediately to you. So now everything has to travel further. It takes longer. You may not get your, you know, your ammo back on time, and the monsters could end up killing you. Like, in each boss battle, it expands further and further, and the bosses become just a little bit more difficult with different kinds of groupings and the way that the other enemies surround the bosses. It truly is a smart game, and I can't wait for it to come out. I recommend this to anyone who enjoys like survivor games, and if you're kind of a old school person, this could also scratch that itch while giving you some new age mechanics. You know, that's going to be great. And then to top all of this off, you also get a base camp because you're trying to rebuild your city that's been destroyed, and you can make fields and forest and boulders to gain enough material so that you can build different types of housing or barracks or things, so your characters can get extra boosts, and you could unlock more characters by building their houses within the settlement. In the demo, you can't expand the land that you use, but obviously in the game, it gives you a massive board, so eventually you're going to get to expand the amount that you get to either put forest or the houses down, and you can use more terrain, which gets you more material so that you can further upgrade your guy, and it just looks like it's going to be an addictive time sink, and I just can't wait to get my hands on it. So that's it. I just wanted to get the word out about the game. It does come out in November, so I can't wait to play it. And thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, like and subscribe if you want, just to help out. Also, leave some comments. Have you played the demo yet? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Does this look like your kind of game? Or am I just, you know, fluffing something that maybe shouldn't even be talked about? But with that said, thanks a lot for coming by, and I'll see you later.